What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we do our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency world because crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next little while, and it's not even close. So, welcome along on the journey. We're pumped to have you guys here. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Truly blessed to be out here on this beautiful tropical island where we're going to be using cryptocurrency as a wealth creation tool and using some real estate as a wealth preservation tool. And we're just having a blast with all you guys coming along this journey with us. It's just been so much fun. We even got to hang out with a lot of OGs last night here in Puerto Rico, where Crypto Coffee went on Crypto Monday, where a lot of the crypto guys from around the island come and talk about crypto and do presentations. And he presented on Pulse Chain and the Pulse Chain ecosystem. And it was just great to be educating the entire room of these high net worth crypto individuals. And a lot of them were good. They took to it. It was really, really interesting. I feel like the sentiment was really good. He did a great job of presenting on it. And so my hat is off to Mr. Crypto Coffee and for doing what he does for this community and actually headstrong in the Pulse Chain Foundation. So we're just having a blast out here in the crypto universe. And I feel a sentiment starting to shift a little bit in my own self. And I was talking about this before the show with you, Dane. I feel like, Hans, he texted a chart yesterday, kind of calling the Pulse Chain bottom. He's also saying with the lunar cycle shifting here in the next day or so, that usually, millionaires trade charts and supports and resistances, and billionaires trade lunar cycles. That's a very interesting thought process. I haven't talked to a lot of billionaires to see if that's actually correct, but I would like to know if that is actually correct, if they really do trade the lunar cycles in their investment thesis. But man, either way, I'm here for it. And I feel like, there's a lot of bullish momentum. Another thing that, with the SEC stuff going on, we saw yesterday. Yeah, let's show this first. Let's dive into some of this, what Hans is talking about with the millionaires and billionaires. And it's interesting. I can't see me enlarge my screen.
It's a little small.
There we go.
Let's see. I know what one you're talking about. Where is it?
Hello there, Mr. Weekly Stochastic RSI was the one he tweeted yesterday about basically kind of calling the Pulse Chain bottom there. And he's across the moving average, break 25 to confirm bullish trend, but we are at the lows instead of the highs. So he's saying we're right here about to maybe not cross over. So it'd be very interesting to see what happens there. I like Hans, guys. He's, in my opinion, probably one of the top TA guys in the Pulse Chain ecosystem. He's called multiple local bottoms and tops in the Pulse Chain ecosystem, not only the blue chip assets, but a lot of the altcoins too. And so he just has a really good trading without emotion skill set. Is what best way to put it. He's able to put the emotion aside and trade the charts. And I love that about him because God knows I have too much emotion in this stuff.
Did you see this tweet that he retweeted? This one was interesting a couple of days ago. This guy says in an election year, stocks tend to chop into Memorial Day. Then we see a summer rally. If we can get a summer rally on stocks, we theoretically could get a summer rally on crypto, which would be great.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And then up here, he said, tomorrow, he's talking about the eclipses. Tomorrow is the first full moon since the eclipse season. I don't know why it works, but we should be getting some bullish action soon.
Click on the comments.
Okay.
And there it is. Millionaires trade support and resistance. Billionaires trade lunar cycles. And then Hans posted by JP Morgan, millionaires don't use astrology. The billionaires do. By JP Morgan, man. So very interesting. I don't know. There's probably something to this. The way our universe and world works, things work, everything works in cycles. And it always seems like everything is pre-planned and staged, and we're just in a story.
Right.
We're just playing out in this story, and we're some of the characters in the story, which is really cool.
This is awesome. I just freaking the SEC just keeps losing. It really is fascinating. Richard just tweeted out a few minutes ago. This happened a few days ago. SEC lawyers Michael Welsh and Joseph Watkins that were on the debt box case resigned. The debt box case is where the court sanctioned the SEC for gross abuse of power. Apparently, they were given the option to resign or be fired.
Hello.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Hello.
Yeah, look at this. So it says the pervasive misconduct exhibited demonstrates a pattern of organizational bad faith and broadly implicates the commission itself, not just isolated individuals.
Wow.
So
Not just isolated individuals.
just blows my mind that there's organizations within the government that it doesn't blow my mind that much anymore, but still, like, for humanity is that there's good actors at higher levels, and you see what the SEC is doing here. Absolute bad faith and lies, creating these bullcrap cases that have no backing, and people are harmed because of it. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yep. So lawyers at the SEC are being fired and or resigning over the cases that
And
they're doing
then
a terrible job of.
look at this one, man. This one is fascinating. The SEC is being sued. Click on this one. I was starting to skim through this morning. Crypto Freedom Alliance of Texas, and Blockchain Association. This is interesting here. Suing the SEC.
Alleging the following. Over the past 2 decades, the digital assets industry has merged, yada, yada, yada. So they're just saying crypto's great. There's decentralization, and you guys should leave us the F alone. Yeah, I mean, this is a giant document. I don't
It
think we need
is.
to.
It is. We'll wait for Nuclear Herbs to kind of pick it apart. I'm sure he'll take a look at it and let us know. I know there is some OGs out there in the ecosystem that are coordinating something like this. So I don't know if they're behind this one or if they're part of this one or how it works. But there's some things in motion, because there's arguably you could say the SEC did harm the pulse chain ecosystem, and there was a lot of money lost. There could be an argument for that. I mean, I obviously bought the bottom and when everyone was losing, but once again, I did sack for Paul Sachs, and that did not turn out very well.
Sure.
You can also argue that people are down on Hex too because of the SEC. So it's just it's interesting. I think it's very hard to sue a government entity and win anything. It's that's a very difficult feat to take on. It's one thing where you can go and argue and get the SEC to lose a case, and that's pretty, and prove that they have bad faith. It's another thing to go sue the SEC and try to get them to pay damages and all that. That's just like you're climbing up Mount Everest now, in my opinion. I hope.
Well,
So,
and I mean, imagine trying to sue an entity that its brother prints the money.
yeah,
And
it's tough, man. Or
it's tough.
everyone's in bed together. It's just tough to go the opposite direction. I think we got a good shot of like having case dismissed or maybe losing the case, whatever it is. The SEC losing against us in the court, but us suing them and trying to get damages, man, that would be one hell of a party if it would actually work. I just don't see it working.
Oh man, you can inject the damages into the ecosystem. Put
Oh,
in the
that'd be
ice chart.
great, man. Yeah.
10,000x, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good. Like I really enjoy seeing the justice system work like it ought to. You know what I mean? I feel like, and maybe this is my U.S. Citizen bias, but you hear about corruption all over the world, and I think that most U.S. citizens hope and largely think that the justice system it's far from perfect, but should generally come out with results that are accurate most of the time. And it seems to be doing that with cryptocurrency cases, which is beautiful. We've talked about it a lot on our show over the last, since the SEC case against Richard came out. It's better to be in the back of the line to have your case
Oh, 100%.
tried than it is in the front of the line, so that
100%.
you can have you have case law
Yeah.
established. So when it comes your time, you have lots of factual things to point to from previous cases. And this is great for Richard. This is great for the rest of us that are involved in pulse chain, because the freaking the judges don't like seeing these cases in the courtroom. The SEC keeps losing. This is really good long term for us.
Yeah, it's all our tax dollars hard at work there, man. SEC going and fighting all this crap. It's just like, not my tax dollars anymore, thank goodness.
Right. Let's see. Let's talk about you want to talk about 9-inch and what those guys have going on over there?
Yeah, so D Nice had mentioned it here. It's just, how about the Hexy Bastard and Ben interview? So I guess, these guys are still promoting, the 9-inch and Pulse Chain ecosystem by paying their way to play. I don't know what Ben Armstrong or BitBoy charges for sponsorship on his new show. I don't know how that works, but it's a sponsorship. So that word means they're paying. I like the fact that he's doing it. I remember he also, Dane, he paid Mario from those Twitter rooms where Mario will have like anywhere from 5 to 10,000 people attending. It's insane. And he paid, I think, 50 grand or maybe 40 grand to promote 9-inch. This was shortly after launch. And at the same time, he was promoting the Pulse Chain ecosystem. So, I mean, the more we get the word out, the more we hear about it, the better. And I'm glad that we're seeing some of these protocols or guys who took money from the community, which I'm not against that. I'm not against sacrifices, but like, what do you do with that money? I could be against if you're out, doing cocaine and hookers with that money. That's, and he might be doing that, and that's fine, but he's also doing some paid marketing and some sponsorships, and he's doing some things that are good by the business, right? Like you have to be marketing in any business. If you're not marketing, you're dying. You have to go and pay to play. And a lot of the things you do in business is just how business operations work. So I'm glad that he's coming, with that mindset and putting the word out there. People are going to come over for 9-inch and they're going to stay for Pulse Chain. It's just how it works. And so I'm glad that he's doing that. And my hat's off to him for doing that. Keep the good work up. Go out there. I don't own I own a very small pack of 9-inch. Like, the full disclosure, I own no BBC. I have no farms over there. Like, I know one of our good friends here in Puerto Rico, man. He's got a pretty good sized position over there in the 9-inch ecosystem. I just don't. I don't have it. I just haven't really paid a lot of attention to it. But I still like people who are paying for sponsorships, getting the good word out there. And then for that, I give you, credit where credit's due. That is amazing work. Keep it up. Keep pushing the good word of Pulse Chain. Like I said, people come over for 9-inch. They're going to stay for Pulse Chain. They're going to stay around and, oh, what's this? Oh, there's a meme coin over here. I'm going to go play with that. Oh, what's this? Oh, is that you have an Aave fork? Oh, that's super cool. Oh, you have a Liquidity fork? Wow. How does that work? Let's play with this for a little bit. And that's how people stay, right? And that's what we want. And so whatever it does, whatever we got to do to get the good word out, man, Hexy Bastard, good job. I'm glad you're paying for sponsorships. I wish more protocols would follow suit. I wish more of you guys would go out there who took money from the community and use that money for marketing. Marketing is the key. You even hear Richard talk about this stuff. If you're not marketing, you're dying. I promise you. Get the word out there, and sometimes you got to pay to play. Me and Dane pay to play all the time. We pay to play to go talk on these stages. We were just in California. Talked on a stage in front of like 400 real estate entrepreneurs. We paid to be there on that stage. That's just how it works in the real world, right? That's business. So I'm super stoked for this. I know I went on a tangent there, but that's how I feel.
Oh, good. And it's just more efficient, like you either pay, you're going to pay one way or another, right? You're typically going to pay with time, you're going to pay with money. money just makes it so you could do things faster and have more efficiency. So depending upon what you want, you get to make a decision. Paid marketing is how Corey and I have built 7-figure businesses. Like,
Yep.
we didn't go do that by just talking to friends and family and shouting into the echo chamber on social media. We did it because we needed to reach audiences that didn't know us already, that didn't know
Right.
our message, didn't know about us. And the paid marketing gives you that juice to be able to go do some of that. And so it's important. In fact, it's a critical feature that we hope to see a lot more of on Pulse Chain.
Agreed 100%, man. It's yeah.
Let's see. So let's look at some charts.
Let's
I
do it.
mean, gosh, if you like 9-inch, you feel bullish on it. I mean, it's still in a great buy zone here compared to where we were. So, now once again, guys, I'm no chart master by any stretch of the imagination. Just giving you some real rough basics here. But man, the chart here looks real bullish. It's got some nice structure. We're still way below the 618 fib level. I mean, we're down below the 786 still, and this is against Pulse. So still deep value here. This wasn't down here at the very bottom, but still deep value. There's an opportunity there if you like that one. And then let's go and I wanted to look at BBC as well.
I own none of it. Like I said, I own a small little bullet in 9-inch. I was able to throw like $1,000 in towards the bottom, and I just staked it. It's like whatever. It's one of my lottery tickets. Maybe I should go bigger. Who knows? Who knows?
All right, let me share this one.
Yeah, Kaisa said the 9-inch DCA tool is awesome. I don't know. I've never used it. I guess Kaisa's been using it. That's awesome that 9-inch is coming out with a bunch of different feature sets. So obviously Hexy Bastard is still reinvesting on building out the actual protocol, because that's not free to keep launching feature sets and improving on the protocol. He's got to pay devs to do that. So he's still building on top of what he launched. Man, I tell you, much respect to the guy. Much respect to him.
I mean, look at this. Off the bottom here, we're up what, like 10x. That's a
Oh, is that
nice
a
move.
10x? What's crazy how it's zoomed out like that is it looks like it's only a couple X's.
Not quite. We are up, what is that? I mean, that's a 7x.
Yeah, that's good.
That's nice. Liquidity's decent too. I mean, you got $1 million of liquidity. This looks really similar to how the ink chart looked before. I mean, if you zoom out and look at the whole chart, you can't even hardly see the price action right here. It got destroyed so bad. So, do we see an ink 2.0 here? I mean, some people on Twitter think so. It's looking strong.
Yeah, and that's a big giant W there that it's
Yeah,
trying
look
to
at
come
this.
out of, and now you have consolidation, and it's forming a flag, and you might want to catch another red candle down there as the flag is forming. Who knows? Before it breaks out, or not, it could just break out like that too, because that is another W right there inside that flag already formed.
Yeah, it's looking good. So 9-inch, yeah, looking strong. In fact, did you talk about how what's his name? BitBoy is going to be launching apparently his meme coin over there. Did you talk about that yet?
Yeah, he's going to be launching, I guess, the next iteration of the Bitcoin or something, and he's going to use the 9-inch deployer. Just how like Gold Pulse has their deployer, 9-inch has one too. That's actually how Solid X was launched. That's how a lot of these other meme coins launched, was through that deployer. I don't know how it works. Never done it. I've messed around with the Gold Pulse before. But yeah, I've never done anything over on 9-inch. Like I said, I'm not heavily invested at all. And so do your own research. Like I said, we're just dudes on the internet, never giving financial advice. We're just speculating with our own bags, go buy stocks and bonds. Go talk to a financial advisor, see how that works out for you for the next 10 years.
Oh, seriously. We were Corey and I were Corey mentioned earlier, we were at an event last night in Puerto Rico where Crypto Coffee was sharing the good news about Pulse Chain, which was cool. We were talking with one of the other guys that's been around for a really long time. And one of the things I thought was really interesting is he said that he feels like this cycle where we're at in the bull run feels really, he said, eerily similar, if I to quote him, eerily similar to past cycles, and his thought process. And wonder what your insights are on this, Corey, if you agree or disagree. You guys in the chat too, what are your thoughts? He said that that he feels like to him that this is the year in 2024 to just hang in there. He said that he thought that we'd see growth, but it wouldn't be anything, super crazy, most likely. And then that 2025 would be the year of like euphoria, really finishing things out, things really ripping, seeing big giant green candles. That was his sentiment. What do you think, Corey? Would you agree with that? Would you disagree? What do you think?
I'm starting to lean more that direction. In fact, I'm even leaning a little bit on elongated cycle, the left translated cycle to me now, where before I would say last year I was giving it maybe like I don't know, anywhere from a 60 to an 80% probability in my thought process and from my due diligence and from what I was seeing. Now it's almost the opposite. I'm giving it like maybe a 20 to a 30% probability that it's a left translated cycle. And I'm giving like there might be a 20 to 30% probability of elongated cycle. And then the rest is like, we're just going to have a normal cycle. And so if we go into 2025 with a nice parabolic euphoria, because, the sentiment's the same, like, and we have been like, everything's being almost the same, except for Bitcoin broke the previous all-time high before the halving. It was the only difference that we've seen in this cycle. Otherwise, everything has been pretty spot on. And it even made me more bullish that they're not going to lower interest rates in 2024. That's actually bullish, guys, that we can continue with the stock market pumping, because it will until they lower interest rate. When they lower interest rates, that's when things break. That's when you see the stock market plummet. That's when you see, if there is a recession or something that resembles a recession, that's when you see it happen, is after they pivot the rates. And so being plateaued, you're usually, when you look at the cycles that happened prior, it's when it stays bullish during that time. So the fact that they're not going to pivot until maybe 2025, this tells me that I think we're in for a normal stretch. That's what I think, man. I don't know. Once again, I could be wrong, and we could get wrecked to Goblin Town tomorrow and not come back. It's
Sure.
we're what do they always say? We're lucky even this stuff even works.
Right. This is good. Corey's due diligence is vibes. That's right. Yeah. Appreciate you here, Chad.
What I do for due diligence, man, is I find smarter guys than me. Guys who understand the stock market better than I do and what they're saying. The guys who understand, the Fed fund rate and the unemployment. And I watch those guys, and I don't like only watch one. I get these smart guys who understand the cycles and understand markets. And I watch a few of them. I learn from them, and I put together my own thesis, right? I'm not just going to sit there and copy and simp over one dude. I'm going to come and and I make up my own determination what's going to happen in the cycle, and I give it a probability, and out of that probability, I might pivot a portion of my portfolio around that probability. So that's all it is. And right now I'm feeling like, the whole narrative, when everyone's always, oh, this time is different. Once again, here we are, and this time it's probably not different.
Agreed.
Now, are we going to get wrecked after this next bull run? Probably. If we could stretch this out to the bull run and we have the nice euphoric top, we are probably due for some serious Goblin Town then. And I'm not talking about crypto. I'm talking about the economy, the stock market, everything. That we're built on a house of cards. When's the house of cards going to fall down this next time? Man, it's going to fall hard. So we just got to push this out a little bit longer. The AI narrative, like Ray Dalio says the AI narrative is what's going to really take this market cycle in the stock markets to new all-time highs, kind of like how the internet did in the 90s. And we're riding that wave right now with AI. And maybe that takes us into the end of 2025, beginning of 2026. And then it's Goblin Town all the way down.
I would be
So make sure
surprised
you
at all.
sell your bags, guys. Sell your portfolio at the right times. And we don't know what the exact right times. The DCA out, provide liquidity, do all the things you do. Because, man, imagine holding that economic energy in stable coins or even real estate, right? You're holding some of that that massive value that you gained in the bull to come in and buy that goblin town next time. That could be some serious legacy wealth creation.
Trade of a lifetime, right?
Trade of a lifetime. Yeah.
Agreed. I see some comments here about Teddy. There's some going on over there. We can
It's
pull the
pumping
price
and there's a
chart.
lot of the price. Look at the price chart.
It's not that crazy.
It is because it's the only one against Pulse that has not made all-time new highs, and it's still charted against Pulse. There, it's the only one that hasn't sprung to the levels that all the other ones did, and so like there's a lot of like. I saw a few guys talking about it on Twitter. Even Sami talked about it today in his one of his shows.
You're up. What are you? You're up about a 2.5x in 40 days. Yeah, not bad.
Now I do have a bag of that.
Sure.
Let's see. What Urban Productions is here. What you saying about SolidX, aka RugX? Now speak, Corey. Oh man, I still got my blue Corvette. I have not sold yet. I got Dane's red Corvette. We haven't sold that yet, so we haven't been scammed out of SolidX yet. We haven't been scammed out of Pulse yet. Everyone said that we're going to get scammed out of Hex. I still got my Hex. I haven't got scammed, and so yeah, man, I'm still holding. I'm still holding SolidX. Price chart looks great to me, man. I like SolidX.
I like SolidX.
I do have a bag of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's look at this W here. This is on the 4-hour against Pulse. You have this nice W here. It's coming up. It's back testing the top of this W here.
Yeah,
Came back and back tested it, headed back up. It's looking like it's trying to find support off this right here, off these levels, and then up we go again. Theoretically, we'll see if it plays out. But man, if the lunar eclipse can help push things up, we could go on a nice little run here.
Yeah, Urban Productions. I hope it goes down to Goblin Town because I would actually buy more. I would pick more up. So I hope we get rugged on it.
Oh, this is cool. So
yeah,
we get Nope and SolidX single sided. Oh, cool. Very cool.
You stake BBC and earn Nope or earn SolidX.
I like it.
Another reason why BBC will probably pump hard.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, what do we think about Hex Fire? I mean, Hex Fire, so those guys are working hard, right? They're putting together
the index.
Axis, SolidX, Hex Fire, and Nope.
Yeah. And I love all those guys, like in the community, as far as streamers and content providers and giving value. You got Randy Hilarski, who I've been watching since like my early Hex days, right? And he's been like there all throughout the bear market. Axis, I'm part of his group. I love Axis, and I've met him in person in Vegas. And then you got Crispy Man. Crispy Man is such a mellow dude, and like he's just like a data analysis. Like he doesn't like, how can you not like Crispy Man? Just like, right. These guys are the ones who are creating the solid index. Like, man, I'm all about these guys. Yeah. I mean,
liquidity is like reasonably thin compared to the other solid index tokens. So, this one could run and run hard and fast. It's up there. I mean, this isn't a value buy at these levels, but I think I like it. I like what those guys are about. It'll be fun to see.
Too.
And you see the liquidity management, being done pretty well. The price charts are finding some good levels. I like how these guys are managing things over there.
Yep. I do too, man. And they're creating community, which inside the community, like you have all these subset of communities inside the Pulse Chain ecosystem, Dane. And like, that's one of my favorite, why? Because they're not toxic. They're not out there like, being disgusting on Twitter. like some of the other communities. And I love that. I love that, man. They're to me, it's like a more of a grown-up community inside the Pulse chain. It's like not a bunch of kids, and I appreciate that. So I fit in with their community more than others.
Nice. Oh, Drew played it nice. Yeah, he says, I bought Hexfire in April, took profits on the first pump. Hopefully the price gets dumped so we get more DCA
Good for you.
opportunities.
Good for you, man. That's excellent.
Nicely played. I'm tired of the dumping. I'm tired of the DCA, and let's send these charts so that I feel bad about buying because the prices are too high. Let's get to that part of it.
Are you going to tell Fast Abdul your secrets, Dane? Do you have secrets?
No secrets over here. What about the bribes, bro? That's where we need more bribes.
Give me the bribes. Shout out to Crypto 7 too. I see Crypto 7 in the chat, man. If you guys aren't following Crypto 7, go follow him, man. He's pumping the content out too. He's one of the creators I like in the ecosystem.
Yep. Yeah. You nailed this, Beyond All. Yeah. Judge stating the SEC is overreaching and lawyers resigning is a good thing to RH case. It's good for all crypto cases. These guys, man, it's just a bad look. And that of course, the judges are trying to be unbiased. But man, when you see all this happening over and over and over again, it's like the boy that cried wolf. Like, how can you not be impacted by that?
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. So things looking good, you guys. I mean, I think we're in good shape. It's an opportunity to be able to build bags while things are still relatively.
Let's look at one more chart before we hop off.
Put the
pulse chain chart on the monthly.
All right, let's do it.
On the monthly. Guys, so anytime I feel like I was talking about this last night with some OGs, and they do the same. Anytime I'm feeling like I'm fudding, or I feel like I'm getting a little weak or questioning my investment thesis, all I do is take Pulse Chain and I put it on the monthly. And it's so freaking clear. It is so obvious to me. It's not even funny. Like, if you can't look at the Pulse Chain monthly chart and against DAI and go, oh my God, this is right on par where we need to be. It is beautiful. Yeah. Look at that thing, Dane. How can you not look at that and just be like, I am bullish as shit?
I mean, we're looking good. I mean, this trend line, things are just trending up in the right direction. I'm with you.
Yeah, Chad. Yeah, when in doubt, zoom out. I've always heard that saying, but of course, like, now that we're like as heavily invested I am in this ecosystem, now it really, really makes sense. And there's times you do get like you always question, not always, but there's times you question yourself. We're humans, right? And because you're going through Twitter and you see this, people fudding and being stupid, and we're human. And so, like, all I got to do is take the Pulse Chain chart, put it on the monthly. I'm like, oh, we're fine. We're fine.
Yep. Agreed. Cool, Corey. Anything else you want to cover before we jump off today?
That's about it, man. I mean, I think we're going to be on every day this week, so we can cut us short on this one. I'm trying to get Matty Allen to come on. Maybe he'll come on Friday, open mic day. We just want to discuss what his sacrifice project is. Now, full disclosure, we haven't invested in it, and we don't even know what it is. In fact, we were talking with some guys last night, and those guys didn't know what it is either. So it'd be cool to have him come on and get some clarity about what the protocol is and what it does. Just educate us and educate our community. When we have them on, please don't come in here and start fudding and talking crap. That's not how we do it here on our show. We like to, take things in and do an analysis on it and make an educated guess. Or educated investment thesis around it, and you can decide whether or not you want to invest in it or not. Like, don't MF them, just don't give them your money if that's what you feel about it. That's perfectly fine too. One of the great things about crypto is you vote with your money on the stuff that has product market fit and the stuff that you think is cool. Like, so that's the way we do this around here. You don't go MS somebody all over Twitter and throw up on them and talk all this shit. Like, man, that's just not how to behave. We're not 3-year-olds here. I sometimes think, Dane, that me and your kids have more, what's the word?
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah, emotional intelligence and some of these guys on Twitter. Not you guys in our chat like we say all the time. You guys come and watch our show because you don't do that. You like to do the same thing we do with our investment thesis. And yeah, I just don't vote with my money. That's all I do. That's it. It's easy. Like I only have so much money to throw around, and I'm going to put it in the stuff I believe in and the stuff I love. And I do the 90-10, investment thesis like Sami talks about. I do 90 core, which I stick with. I mean, those are my babies, and I keep stacking to those bags. In fact, I just did a DCA to my core not too long ago. And then I have the 10% where I mess around, man. I mess around and do things. Solid X is in my 10. Now, economic-wise, it became a lot bigger than my 10%, but that was not like the intention when I went in there. I went in there with only a certain size bag, and that certain size bag blew up. So it's like, okay, well, now it's bigger than my 10%. Next run up, I'm probably going to take some exposure off the table on our next run up. So, yeah, guys, support the builders. You support them by voting with your money. Don't MF them and talk shit about them. You vote with your money, and if that's how we do things around here. So, Human Hex Trafficker, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. My one of my local Arizona boys out there. It's good to see you. Gingerbread Man, good to see you, man. I'm glad to see you're back in crypto. You took a small break there, which is good. I think everybody should take small breaks.
It's healthy.
Everybody, man. And Funding Jim, what's up, brother, man? Long time no see. I think we need to have you back on our show in the future, man. I would love to have a nice conversation with you. We always have an intelligent conversation, which feels good. So, yeah.
Cool, guys. That sounds good. Once again, thanks for jumping on. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channels, if you haven't smashed the likes, you haven't done all that stuff, we're here to pump everybody's bag. So please do that on the way out. And with that, have a great day, guys.
Peace, guys.